Do we want to make Henry go as fast as you can? That's what we're going to do today. But really, the main mechanics of why you want Henry to go fast is to catch people and to get away from people. So we're going to talk today about what you should do to get Henry to go faster and how fast can he realistically go. So let's go take a look and see all the mechanics behind here.
Why are you running?
So let's show this off about slow speed and what it can do against you. So let's say if you start a fight in town and you need to run away. This is like speed 19, heavy armor and Henry, and he's going to get caught. But even at speed 19, you can sometimes get away, but people are going to be right on your tail. So you want to have more speed to get away from these like lightly armored people or from catch up to you and just keep you in a fight. You don't want that to happen. Instead, what you do want to be is lightly armored here, and so you can see the speed difference. So we went from 18 all the way up to 24, and you can see we can get away from people. They're not catching up to us right away. Now, granted, we aren't getting really far away, but we're getting far away, they're not able to catch us immediately. So to test how fast Henry run, we're going to start here in Samin. This is a pretty nice little course we can do. All right, to test out our speed course, we don't really have anything that gives us kilometers per hour or miles per hour or anything else. So we got to do a rough estimate, a rough testing. So what we're going to do is that we're going to start here in Samin here. We start this fence post, and then we're just going to run all the way across and use up nearly an entire stamina bar from the beginning of the game. This is kind of a rough estimate, so we're going to run all the way to the Saddler's horse sign right there, and then we stop the time and we say like, all right, this is how long it takes to travel between here. Measure the distance between the sign and the fence post that we have there. It's only about 210 steps, and of course there's going to be some variations here and there, but let's not worry too much about this. This is just an average, just to get your mind around how speed is supposed to work. In general, Henry has a speed category that you see here on his bar right there, and the speed usually determines how fast you're supposed to go. Oh, that's usually what you think. Speed is usually determined based off how heavy Henry is, like how much armor or anything else he's wearing, or how many weapons he has. So every weapon category can affect your speed you have, including the torch can affect that too. So anything that you wear can change your speed up and down. It's not as easy as saying it's putting on one piece of armor will get you to 17 to 18 to 19 or whatever speed. Sometimes it feels like there's this in between that the stats don't show, like there's an 18.5 or an 18.6 or something that we can't see. In general, the early game, how do you increase your speed? You basically increase your agility. Agility will increase your speed over time. So the higher your agility goes, the faster you're going to go. And vitality there, what it does, it changes your endurance, so basically your stamina, how far you could run at one time. It basically affects your yellow bar there. So let's put this into practice. So you can see Henry here has a speed of 18. He is dramatically slow. So if you could see him out here in the field, he runs like he has a bag of bricks tied at his butt. So he is not going anywhere fast. So to measure Henry's speed, all we're going to do is go from the saddler to the fence post out there, and we're just going to set Henry, ready, set, and go, Henry. Go, 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 go. And see how long it takes for him to go. And having Henry run multiple tests going back and forth, we measure the time in between, and on average, we get about 17.8, 17.9 seconds on average there. So this is one of the slowest speeds you'll ever see Henry in a game. But it works out. So what about if we go to speed 19? So we got to strip some stuff off of Henry, and it's kind of weird how speed just doesn't increase, but look how much stuff I'm taking off of him, and he doesn't seem to get faster. So it's kind of weird how this works out. There might be a percentage there, but we had to take off a lot to get him to speed 19 here. But if you need to increase your speed, take off items, but also look to take off the weapons on your belt. They do cause weight, and also your torch can cause you to decrease some speed too. So look at everything out there. So testing Henry on the same race course, we're going to see how fast he moves with speed 19. And honestly, it goes out about what you expect. Really, you don't see that much of an increase between the two different speeds. So what we found out through our testing that between these 2 points is that it takes about 0.3 seconds less between the 2 points. So it's not that big of a difference, but it is a difference we can measure. So using the same method that we had before, we're just going to go all the way back, just increasing our speed by 1 each time. We're going to measure the time in between, and we found that between each speed, you get about 0.2 to 0.3 seconds faster between this same race course, which is pretty nice. So going from speed 18, which is pretty much the lowest speed you can pretty much get, on a normal game, going all the way up to speed 30 is that you roughly get about 3 seconds faster overall through this race course. Which roughly means you start from speed 18 going about 18 seconds to get all the way across to about speed 30, which you get about 15 seconds all the way across. There's a huge difference, so that means you don't get caught by soldiers and you can probably catch people. but you can go even faster. So to go faster, you're gonna have to go into your perk tree. And you would think that going into the stat that determines how fast you go, agility, would actually have a perk that make you go faster, but this is not the case. They just deal with your stamina and all that stuff, which is weird. However, in the vitality tree, there is Hermes Haste. If you read that closely, it says that you'll run 20% faster here, and that is exactly what's going on. And when you take this perk at any time, you just turn into a speed demon. This is when your speed increases dramatically. You can see it right here, kind of initially right here. You could almost compare back and forth from the earlier video and see how much faster you run. You can see Henry is a heavily armored person at this time, and he's running a lot faster, almost a crazy amount of speed. And you can see our speed's at 27 right now, but even at 27 speed, we're running at a time of about 13.2 seconds. Comparing to 27 speed without the perk, we're running about 16.4 seconds. So taking the one perk, we're about almost 3 seconds faster just with one perk. That's insane to think about. So basically at the beginning of the game, you can get about 3 seconds of extra speed per a stamina bar. The one perk basically brings you all the way up to level 30 instantly out of nowhere. Even if you gain no more agility, that basically brings you to like level 30 in no time. Once you take Hermes Haste, you are basically the speed god of Bohemia. So the fastest you can go with Hermes Haste and max speed of 30 is about 13.1 seconds, running for 210 steps. That is pretty much the max I've seen. You can see this on the live stream. Now, for the astute people in the audience that are watching right now, you might be thinking, math is not mathing, right? Because if Hermes Haste drops me about 3 seconds, and getting from 18 speed to 30 should drop me about another roughly 3 seconds, technically, shouldn't we be running at 11 seconds per, 210 steps? And the answer is yes. And technically we should, and I don't know why. I mean, I have an idea. What's probably happening most likely is that there's a cap on speed, because once I start testing speeds closer to 27, 28, 29, everything was kind of blending in at the same speed, and I think that there's a cap to how fast Henry can go. This is just my guess. With Hermes Haste and speed 30, I think you're capped out in about 13 seconds per 210 steps. Again, that brings to another point, is that once you get to like speed 27, 26, and you have Hermes Haste, you're probably not going to get much faster. And then speed right there doesn't really matter. You're basically as fast as you can get. And just to be thorough in testing, what we're going to do is that we're going to test out the walk speed that we have here, going back and forth based on the two different speeds, and really just to, not leaving suspense, just on the regular jog speed kind of thing, not running but not walking. What you experience on 30 speed is about 23 seconds to go all the way across. Now, if you're at speed 18, you only go about 28 seconds all the way across. So a difference of 5 seconds, not too bad. So you do get faster, not on sprinting speed, but you do get faster on the actual general speed that you go on just a regular walk. So now I should be mentioned that Hermes Haste does not affect this at all, because it says sprinting, and we tested it out before. It doesn't affect jogging, just regular jogging, so you should be fine. So the main takeaway of this video is grab Hermes Haste as fast as you can, and you'll make Henry as fast as possible you could be. And also at the same time is that even at the late stage of the game, speed doesn't really matter too much once you have Hermes Haste and you get into 25, 26 level speed, because honestly, you're going to be able to get away from anybody you can. Speed seems to be capped at about 13, so once you reach that 26, 27 level speed, you're basically capped out already with the Hermes Haste. So you might as well just stack on the armor and not worry too much off of there about how fast you're going to be able to run, because Hermes Haste just does everything there. But anyways, I hope this is useful to you all, and you should be able to get away from just about anyone with Hermes Haste after that. And you can see here we're running at speed 19, and we're getting away from just everybody that we can already. Just the only difference we did was put Hermes Haste on there, and now we're fast as ever could be. But anyways, use this information appropriately. Hopefully it's somewhat useful, and I hope to see you guys around next time when we try to test out Henry and see how this game actually works, because mechanics behind it is quite interesting. But until then, have a good one, everybody, and goodbye. Yeah, this still makes no sense why Hermes Haste lives in vitality. Why does this live in vitality? I need to switch that into agility, but oh well. Anyways, come here, Mutt. Let's go run for it. We got a town to loot.